You might hate me now, but you're not gonna hate me in 5 minutes. So consider this women's ministry without a church. I am not about to tell you that God is pointing his finger at you like you didn't clean your house. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to feed the sheep, to grow up in God, to yes, be childlike always, but to grow in the Lord. These are the next steps as a wife and a woman of God. And so my channel is not for people that are not saved. My channel is not for people that are not wives. This is specifically for women of God in the church that need help. So consider this women's ministry without a church building, because this is what it's for. First of all, if you have a messy house, stop the shame and guilt right now, because that is not what we're doing. We're here to learn if God wants us to have a messy house or a clean house, and then what we do about it. You might hate me now, but you're not gonna hate me in 5 minutes. I had a clean home probably once a year in my early years of being married. In the thick of it, in my worst years of depression and the hardest years of my marriage and the worst times of my life, I probably had 2 or 3 years, I'll say 3 years, where I had a clean home either only because my husband had hired me a housekeeper, or it was only clean once a year. Like I didn't touch it, I didn't do anything. If we got to the point where there were no more forks, then I would wash them. And so that was how I lived for years. And I am not advocating it, but I'm also not trying to say if you're living like this, you can never live any other way. Okay, so I have a spotless home now and it's effortless. So this is just something that God can do in you, and that's what I'm teaching you. This is not something that you have to learn overnight. This is a process. Changing as a human being is a process, okay? So what about having a messy home is a problem? Why is having a messy home maybe something we don't want? First of all, we've got biblical reasons. So let's go to the Bible and then we'll do everything else. So here's the Bible verse. But everything, it's 1 Corinthians 14:40, but everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way. I know that it seems like, yeah, but God doesn't know how many socks my kids have, and God doesn't know how many, I get that. When Adam and Eve were sent to the garden, he said, when he gave Adam the garden, dress it and keep it. When he gave Adam Eve, he said, help that man. And that man has a home with you, and it needs to be dressed and kept. So my suggestion is to treat your home like the garden, because that's how it grows. A messy home is something that we can have, but it's not going to benefit us long term. If you look at people who are chronically messy, a lot of times they don't have a lot of success. If you look at successful people, they have a clean home. And whether they prioritize purchasing a service that would clean their home or they clean it themselves, they learned how to get a clean home. If you want to grow in the Lord in life and you want to go higher, one of the facets of successful people is having a clean home. Successful people have clean homes. I have never been to a successful person's home that was messy. So you're not going to live in filth and be able to succeed in life the way you want to succeed in life, because your brain's messy. Your brain's messy, and so everything is messy around you. Your outside is a symptom of your inside. When my house was messy all those years to the point that I only washed forks when I had to, that wasn't about the house. That was a lack of knowledge on how to keep things clean. I really didn't understand that you had to do it every day for it to stay done. For some reason that logically didn't click. But the other thing is, I did those things not out of hatred for my family, not out of neglect, but out of a sheer lack of understanding of what the power of having a clean home would be. And so I'm going to tell you what the power of having a clean home is, and hopefully that helps, because honestly, I didn't understand what I was missing out on. Do you think it sounds impossible to keep your home in a fitting and orderly way? I promise you it's not. Let's go to the next point. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to give you key practical steps here. This isn't just like, you should keep a clean home, but I'm not going to tell you how I do it. I'm going to tell you how I do it, step by step. Second Bible verse that will show you that God fully expects you to keep a clean home is this one. And this is Proverbs 31. This is my favorite chapter of the Bible. And it says, she watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Sometimes a part of our messy house is just that we aren't doing something with it. So what I ended up doing to figure out how to keep a clean home, because I honestly didn't understand how to keep it clean. I understood that people could clean their home, but I didn't understand how to keep it like pretty much picked up. And I have 2 small children. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I have mess, okay? I'm not living alone here. I'm not a lack of mess. But I have an abundance of systems that started fixing these problems. And God showed me how to put systems in my house that would help me. For example, my laundry system. Here's a picture. I have one basket that sits in my hallway, and all of our bedrooms are in this hallway. And so I can just use this one basket for everybody's dirty clothes. And then I have a stack of baskets on a shelf. And when that basket gets filled up, I take it to the laundry room, I sort it. If there's a full basket, like the blacks or the towels are full. That day is that basket that I do. I throw it in the laundry and I get it done. I make sure that day if I washed, that I've dried it, folded it, put it away, and it's done. It doesn't sit in my house, not for a minute. I don't like looking at laundry. It's a pet peeve of mine. But that didn't stop me from looking at laundry for years. So it can be a pet peeve and you not do anything about it. You pick a problem and you solve for the problem. What is the next problem? That the dishes are always dirty? Okay, what's one point in your day you can give 15 minutes to clean the kitchen every day? Set an alarm on your phone. In that 15 minutes, you're not doing anything else. Toddler gets put down, and then you train yourself to do it faster and better. Part of the reason that I have the time to work full time, have 2 kids, run my house, and keep it clean is because I do things quickly. The world says our house isn't that important. The world says our family isn't that important. Your career is the world will always tell you your career is important, but they will not tell you your husband is. The world will always tell you that as a woman, you can have so much value if you'll just get a job and go be a boss, babe. But they won't tell you that the intimacy and holiness with which you serve your family in private is so holy to God that there is an eternity of blessing on the other end of this life for you because of it. That there is reward in this life for what you have already put in. You're not watching this video because you're not a great wife or mom. You're not watching this video because you're a crap woman of God. If you got this far, you're one of God's buds. You are it, baby. You're in that Proverbs 31 circle because you listen to me talk this long and you haven't shut it up. Everybody living in their flesh would have stopped it by now. You are in your spirit somehow, some way to get this far. These are basic baby steps, right? Clean your house, serve your husband well, show up with a smile. Do these things well, not because everyone else deserves them. Not because everyone in your life is doing perfectly. Not because your husband is on his game and you're just not. Lead upwards and lead by example. Because I promise you God will take care of the rest of it. If you will do your job and role as a wife and mother, even if you're not being treated well, I promise you God will fix it. I promise you God will take care of you. Your job is to do the work He's asked you to do, and it is His job to protect the outcome. And so He said, keep watch over your house. The Proverbs 31 woman, she keeps watch over her house. Keep watch over your house. Put in a system, get it done, use that beautiful brain He gave you, and keep it moving. Because you have gifts, talents, and callings in you that are bigger than a clean house. If you'll master getting a clean house, God can give you the next challenge and assignment. And on the other end of these assignments are souls. On the other end of everything you're doing, He's got a soul attached to it. Right now, those souls are sitting in your house. These little babies and your husband, these are souls in your home. And you get to be a light of the world to them every day. You are on stage as a mother every single day, and they are learning and observing every single micro movement that you do. They're watching it. They are cataloging it as fact and as truth. And so how we act and behave, we are programming our children to do this, to be us. We're not even trying to all the time, but we are training our children up in the way they should go so they won't flee from it. We're training our children up in the way they should go so they don't flee from it. We are taking our home very seriously. And if you take your home seriously, then you're the guest that's at the home. I got to the point where I respected myself so much that I was like, I don't care if someone else is coming over, I'm here. And that's a good enough reason for it to be clean. Because I expect it to be clean. I'm of value, I matter, and I want it clean. So I'm gonna clean it for me. I started doing that. When I went to clean something and I didn't want to, I didn't feel like it, I thought how much I would love seeing it in a few days when it was done. I remember thinking like, in the next hour when I walk past this, it's not gonna be sitting here because I did it for myself. And so whatever you have to tell yourself is fine. But I recommend telling yourself the things of God that are true, which is that you are of high value, which is that God loves you and adores you. Dress and keep your home, treat it like the garden. And then watch what God does with you next, because I promise you, there isn't a soul on this planet that God watches do good things and He doesn't give more to. Even the heathens, I have seen it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who needs it, because I promise you that this channel will grow, that this ministry will grow, and I will continue to give you valuable content that you can use to change your life as a woman of God and as a wife and mother. Thank you. My name is Holly. I'll see you next time.